Alright, this is my second try at this. I was long-winded on the other one. So this is an earth stove. I did have to weld a couple little tiny cracks around the door. They're noted for that. This stove's probably, I'm guessing, 30, 40 years old. I had to do a little work on it, and I had to buy a $30 reducer here. They got cheaper ones, but this one keeps it fairly close to the stove. If the cheaper ones come out to there and then the pipe's way back here, I wanted to keep this, give me some clearance, but yet I didn't want to put the stove way out in the middle of the floor. And I've got the heat shield here, heat shield here, heat shield here. This heat shield and this one are the thinner ones. This heat shield, this one is the thicker one. So, and then I've got standoffs to let air go behind it to keep it cool. As you can see, it's right behind the pipe. It's been running for about 5 hours. And I can easily put my hand on it. It's not even, it's almost cold. So, as you can see right through it. So here comes the video. Hope you enjoy it. If you want to put a stove in something, if you can find one of these things that's still usable, I like them. This is the third one I've owned in my life. Actually the fourth. So one of them I sold with my house. So here you go. Okay, this is the bracket that I used to stand that heat shield away from the wall so I wouldn't get that wooden paneling hot. There's your numbers right there. That's from Lowe's. I think it's in the gate parts or something. Alright, this is what we're doing. We're trying to get this into this. It's been a while since I did this. Line it up. You have to bend it backwards. You see? It's never fun. Wiggle it, make sure it snaps in. See? And then we want this to be lined up, so female, male. Make sure it's snapped in, that's all. We don't want to pop it open. If it's not snapped in, you're not going to get the fittings to fit anyway. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Wear gloves, some kind of gloves. Leather gloves would be best, but I don't have any with me. This is the female part. Let's get that groove in it. This goes inside here. That's why you have to overbend under whatever. Bend it backwards, I call it. Get it lined up. Some of them go in harder than others. one looks like it's going to be tough. This one doesn't line up very well. I thought it'd be tough, but it went right in. Still not in quite all the way. Hear it pop. Bend it a little more just to be sure. See how it's not round now? Now I'm just going to bend it back. You see that little groove? That's how it snaps together. Once you get a fire in it, you'll probably hear it going in a little more. Sometimes you hear it, but it's snapped in all the way. See that? It's snapped in all the way. Okay. Okay. When I measured it out, I needed a piece that was 8 inches long, 8 inches long from here to here to fit, to make the complete pipe. So what I did was I measured 8 inches. I took some tape and kept hitting my marks for 8 inches. Then I just kind of unfolded this and cut it with these. It's not easy. You want to wear gloves. Then when I got all done, I put it together, made sure it would snap together and everything. I had to make a couple little bends because when you cut this, you kind of mess up the ends. As you can see, I bent this trying to get my snips around it. But anyway, make a long story short, I took my screwdriver and I had crushed this with these. So you just had to open it up so that it'll snap together. Okay, so now I had this little 8-inch piece, and I took a file, and before I put it on this pipe, I couldn't get it on the pipe before, I filed the inside for the little burrs that were left from my cutters. So now this piece is 8 inches longer than it was. Or actually, not quite, because I got this, it's about 7 inches longer. Just whatever you need to do. Now I'm going to take these screws, the drill screws. I'm going to put 2 screws in there to hold that together, so I don't have to worry about that keep falling apart while I'm putting it up, and it'll be safer that way. These are the screws. Even though they've got a drill bit built in them, I'm going to pre-drill through this pipe. This pipe's pretty hard, and I'm going to pre-drill the hole slightly smaller than the screw, and see if I can get this baby to be permanently on there. Beat it in together. Make sure it's tight. I'm just going to pick a spot, any spot, and I'm going to drill right through both of them, I hope. Alright. Now, I'm going to take one of these screws, see if I can get this to grab a hold here. I don't want it to be real long screws, because everything you put inside this pipe is going to restrict some of the smoke going out. Look opposite the screw, make sure it's tight. And the screw's about over there. It's not going to be perfect, okay? Alright, as you can see, This is just hanging there right now. 6-inch pipe. This pipe was already in there. So I wanted to convert this. This was an 8-inch stove. An old antique earth stove. I wanted to convert that to 6 inches. Well, most of the pipe stuck way back. And as you can see, I'm short on distance anyway. I didn't want this thing sticking out in the room any further than I had to. So I looked online and I knew they made some kind of an adapter, but I couldn't remember exactly what. Well, here it is. See it right there? That's the numbers and everything. And this is what it looks like. All right. It goes in there. It's got a female end on this end and a female end on the other. You can get them different ways. This is the only ones that I could get locally. I got it at Menards. Menards seem to have the best selection of stovepipe around. I went to Lowe's. Went to Home Depot. Home Depot doesn't even have stovepipe. Lowe's had a little bit. I went to Rural King. I got some of this pipe at Rural King. I got an adapter at Rural King, but it was a big cone looking thing. And it at least stuck out at least 2 or 3 inches longer than this. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I've already had it in there once. And it's a pretty good tight fit. But just to be sure, I'm going to use some furnace. I'll show you. It's called furnace cement. Is that an and? And fireplace mortar. Okay, and I'm going to smear some of it on here, all around this edge right here, the part that goes inside the stove. And then I'm going to push it in there and wipe off the excess. I couldn't get black; it's gray. It says so. That's what I'm going to do now. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'm just going to use a putty knife and gob it on there. It's pretty thin. I thought it'd be thicker than this. It says to leave it on for for at least a day before you fire it up. So I'm going to put it on here. They say it's made for bricks and everything else. Again, all I'm using it for is this. Just to be sure. Just want to make sure that this baby is sucking. Remember, the stovepipe should not be under pressure. It should be under a vacuum. But you know, times, who knows? I'm probably putting way too much on right now, since I've never done this before. If I wasn't in a house, if I was in like a workshop or something, I probably wouldn't even bother with this. But I mean, I'm not doing it to pipes. But this is going to get really hot. This is the first place that the exhaust smoke, whatever you want to call it, is going to hit. So I'm going to do it this way. Other safe than sorry. Alright, so that's what I did. I just kind of smeared it on there. Now I'm going to stick it in. And you kind of have to twist this. I'm going to have to put the camera down. But twist it and push it in until the flange touches. Okay, so you can see a little bit came out, but not much. So I must have put about the right amount on. So while it's wet, I'm going to go ahead and hook these pipes up. I won't be firing this up till tomorrow anyway, because I don't have the stove exactly where I want it. It's going to go back about 1 inch. And trying to get the pipe parallel with the wall. And then I'll be putting the fire brick in it. Once I get the fire brick in it, it's going to be super heavy. I want to move the stove back, so what I got to do is move these blocks back that are underneath it. So I moved the others, that one over there about 2 inches back. Now I'm going to move these 3 back even with it, and then I'll move the stove back. Show you how I'm doing it, even though it's heavy. The nice thing about having blocks is you can move one at a time. That block got put in backwards, so I'm going to take the opportunity and put it in the way I wanted it. I had helpers holding it up, and we were kind of in a hurry. So, get this opportunity to get it where I want it. Now that I got that one where I want it, I'm going to move the middle one. Up against the other block. Against that block. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just... Okay, so now I want to get the pipe parallel with this shield, okay? So now I'm going to measure it, keep moving it till I get it. Well, it's as close as I can get it. It's pretty darn, it's almost perfect actually. As you can see, the pipe isn't perfectly straight anyway, but if I measure from here to here and here to here, I'm almost just within a 1/16 of an inch, so I'm not going to worry about it. Don't forget to spray something, a little water or soap, anything cleaner on here, and get this damp. Take a plastic scraper, plastic, did you hear me? Plastic, not metal, and scrape it off of there before you start it, because once it gets hot, you'll think it's going to burn off. No, it's just going to get uglier. Yep. I've got to go put the fire brick in it and give it 24 hours, and tomorrow afternoon I'll crank it up. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it'll burn clean, warm, cozy. I think it's good. Okay guys, are we ready for this initial fire start? So we're going to take a slow process. First I'm just going to burn some paper. See what that does. Oh. Smoke's going where it's supposed to go. Well, we got a fire, but not much of one. It's smoke coming out the top of the smokestacks, though. Here we go. The chimney seems to be drawing. My first fire. Low as I can get it. As you can see, I can still touch the pipe without frying my hands. This is actually cold all the way down, so I think we're good to go. All right, thanks for watching. I'm gonna go on to another project. I'm gonna have to get me an ash bucket here in a couple weeks. No more than I'm burning this thing. It'll take a long time to fill up that bottom with ashes.